Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're doing the offseason predictions for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland Cavaliers are, one of the teams that I enjoy watching. As you guys know, someone commented that I was a masochist because my three favorite teams, it's from where I've lived. I was born in Minnesota, lived there till I was 5. Then I lived in the suburbs of Orlando from 5 to 9, and then lived in Baltimore, Maryland from 9 to 19. And so I'm a Wizards, Magic, Timberwolves fan, and someone said I was a masochist for putting myself through that for the last 15 years. But the Cavaliers are one of those teams that I've always watched because, LeBron James, and then, there was that time where it was like Kyrie, Tristan Thompson, Deion Waiters, and then, of course, after LeBron came back and then he left, it's been fun watching the Cleveland Cavaliers. Truly. Really fun to watch the Cavaliers. And today we'll talk about their offseason prediction. JB Bickerstaff's job is safe, like it should be. And I really feel like the reason they lost this was roster construction. The roster's almost there. And they lost because of shortcomings. I mean, first off, did some of their players choke? But I think it was the depth. Like, behind Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, there's no front court depth. So they weren't able to adapt, where I think if they were able to have a small ball power forward like Grant Williams on this roster and put Evan Mobley or Jared Allen just on the floor, then you throw out Grant Williams. And if you actually had a better wing rotation, I think all those are things that would have helped. Let me hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys expect this team? They went 51-31. They only have one draft pick in this year's draft. It's the 49th pick, which is the 19th pick in the second round. Their free agents are unrestricted: Caris LeVert, Raul Neto, Robin Lopez, Danny Green, and then they have a team option on Lamar Stevens. Dylan Windler's a restricted free agent. So is Mama Diakite and Isaiah Mobley. So there's two ways to look at this. This is a team that won 51 games, and then they were out rebound and out physical. Like, they were literally physically dominated, and they lost the second chance point battle in a 5-game playoff loss to the New York Knicks. Silver lining is that there's room to grow. Despite having depleted their draft assets to get Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland has 9 players under 26. Kobe Altman, the general manager, has the resources to improve the rosters at a cost. The first option for Cleveland would be to run back the same roster. They have 10 players under contract, including Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen. Re-sign Caris LeVert, add a combination of off-ball wing shooting and front court depth with its 12.2 mid-level exception. 12.2 million mid-level exception. And the second option would be to explore trades out there for Ricky Rubio, Cedi Osman, Isaac Okoro, and Dean Wade. Outside of defensive effort of Okoro, the Cavaliers got little offensive production from their bench in the New York series. I'm a big Ricky Rubio fan, so I wonder. And Rubio, it wasn't pretty. He was working his way back from the injury. I'm well aware, and he was a guy that one could argue that he was better post All-Star break. Those 19 games, like just shooting from the floor wise, but at the same time, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't a great year for Rubio, but I still think he can still provide offense to the right team. Now, Okoro averaged 6.4 points per game this year, and half of his shots coming on threes, and he had averaged a separation of 9.3 feet between himself and the closest defender. That's the largest among players with at least 150 three-pointers. And the third most drastic option would be to gauge Jared Allen's value in trade. Would Cleveland benefit from moving him for multiple players to upgrade their bench and then have Evan Mobley be the center? With Mobley at center, Cleveland averaged 117.4 points per 100 possessions and had a plus 8.2 net efficiency. However, with Mobley at center, the Cleveland Cavaliers also had a 21.3 offensive rebounding and allowed an offensive rebounding rate of 31.8, both bottom 15%. Allen has 3 years, $60 million left on a team-friendly contract. Now, the Cavaliers are considered one of those in-between teams. They're not close to the $162 million tax threshold, nor are they a cap-space team. Including the $6.7 million in non-guaranteed contracts of Cedi Osman and Lamar Stevens, Cleveland has $125 in salary, $37 below the luxury tax. Osman's contract becomes guaranteed on the 29th, and Stevens has no salary protection despite having a team option. Now, the top front office priority this year would be to find a compromising deal for LeVert, something like a 2-year, $36 million deal. The 4-year, $101 million extension that LeVert is eligible prior to June 30th is a non-starter. That's a $25 million per year cap hit, which is clear an overpay. And LeVert's so inconsistent during the regular season, especially playing off ball. Per Cleveland Glass, LeVert ranked near the bottom in efficient field goal percentage and shot 36.4% during the regular season on attempts outside of 5 feet. LeVert averaged 12.5 points and shot 46.6% from 3 after the All-Star break. If LeVert leaves for nothing, Cleveland would have a 12.2 non-taxpayer mid-level expansion to replace him. And, you go out and get a guy like Kelly Oubre. We'll talk about guys you can go out and get. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's the most reasonable deal ever. But, go out and get yourself like Max Strus or, Javon Carter, Jay Crowder's guys you can go out and get. Jalen McDaniels, Josh Richardson. Those are guys you can go out and get. Torrey Craig. I don't know if they would really help you over the edge, but the Cleveland Cavaliers are likely in a holding pattern when it comes to an extension for Donovan Mitchell, who has 3 years left on his deal, and a player option. Cleveland could offer Mitchell a 3-year, $135 million extension if Mitchell declines the player option, or a 2-year, $92.6 million option if he opts in. And if Mitchell elects to play out his contract and become a free agent in 25, he would then be eligible for a 5-year, $257 million contract. He's not Supermax eligible because he was traded after the end of his rookie deal. Lamar Stevens would become extension eligible if his option is exercised, and Jetty Osman and Okoro are both rookie extension eligible. Well, I think Osman's but maybe Okoro too. But I think it's just Okoro. Osman is extension eligible. Okoro's rookie extension eligible. This team needs a bench. They brought in Danny Green. Didn't play him. They ranked 28th in bench scoring, ahead of only Toronto and Portland. Their reserves ranked 19th in three-point percentage, 51.6% on their shots coming from beyond the arc. And they owe the Utah Jazz first-round picks in 25, 27, 29. And they also have, to oblige to the Jazz right to swap in 26 and 28. Cleveland is not allowed to trade a future first in any season, and they have 6 future second-round picks that they can trade. So for me, again, it goes back. Josh Richardson's a guy that they should look at, a guy who can defend on the wing, thanks to foot speed and length, and is able to knock down threes and off the dribble at like 37%. Jalen McDaniels, not much scoring there, but a guy. Javon Carter, I think if they want more shooting, Georges Niang. And, Ayo DeSumo, Matisse Thybulle, Trey Jones. These are all guys I would have them looking out at. Dante DiVincenzo, Kelly Oubre, KJ Martin, Naz Reid as a backup center, Grant Williams as a small ball 4. I think these are all guys that Bruce Brown, all guys, Josh Hart, if they could bring them in, that really could. And I think it's hard to decide because you don't know what's the best fit. I want to hear you guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. That's basically going to be it for me today. But peace.